Greetings, pro wrestling fans, and thank you for joining us at the Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast. I'm Nick, and I'm sitting here with
Donovan, Donovan.
Back to the OG Donovan, I guess.
Yeah, I'm saving the good shit for special events.
Oh no, I've heard this before.
Special events.
Yeah, we'll see. Who else?
The Thrill, Cecil O'Neill.
See, there you go.
Yes. I was really hoping you were going to do that. Good to have you back, Will.
It's good to be back.
Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast. It's the Roundtable, episode 37.
Long time no pod, Will.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, ooh, there you go.
Before Mania.
Yeah, I don't know how many weeks it's been. At least 10, maybe 27, maybe around that time. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
If you guys aren't following us already on Instagram and Twitter, check it out at PWLookback on both of those. If you want to send us an email, prowrestlinglookback@gmail.com is where you can do that. If you want to get in contact with any of us, at Salsa, SCELSA.
At Just On 44.
At Lateral G, LATERELG.
Yeah, there you go. I like it. You got that down pat like you've said that a million times. I like it. If you want to get a t-shirt, sticker, tank top, be like Donovan, show off the muscles at the gym, Pro Wrestling Lookback, teespring.com/Pro Wrestling Lookback. I think that's pretty much everything. If you're not already, hit 5 stars on iTunes for us, subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. Podbean, Spotify, YouTube. I think that's everything.
Yes, sir.
How you guys doing?
Yeah.
Feeling good? Feeling great?
Yeah, a bit, yeah. You know, I'm coming off of work, a little bit tired. But, you know.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. It's double duty this week, Don.
Yes.
We'll see what happens.
We will see.
I figured since you guys were away last week, I hope everybody enjoyed the special Kevin Owens show. Shout out to Mike D. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah.
That was cool. I don't know. It was different. I hope we do that again, and I maybe we'll try it with you, Don, and Younger if we get him in. Shout out Younger, obviously. Follow him at ZJVY93. Couldn't be here this week. He's dealing with some personal shit.
Yeah, we definitely got to do some more shows like that. That'd be cool.
Totally.
I'd love to highlight
a specific. I want to do an AJ Styles, but it would be a big one because I'd want to take a match from TNA, a match from New Japan, a match from ROH, kind of a little bit of everything.
Yeah. What was I had something on the brain here.
Well, the ROH is kind of what I want to get into. Since
maybe that was it.
Yeah, I just was gonna say like that's kind of what we were talking about with the Younger. You guys went last week. You, Younger, Mike D, all of you.
Yeah.
I was all here by myself. Me and Mike played a little radio trickery and got the show recorded, dropped on the same.
How'd you manage that one?
Well, Mike kind of, we recorded it right before you left.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
that was it, I think.
Quick.
It totally didn't involve, like, 6 cans of Monster or anything.
No. we totally didn't record it, like, earlier in the week or anything like that. We wouldn't do
This is a
something.
live show.
But yeah, how was it, man? Back at
good.
the ROH.
Yeah,
so.
back. I haven't been to an ROH since 2012. This is actually the second ROH show I've ever been to, and the first one from a boy, Young Dog, and he was loving it.
Oh yeah.
I was telling you off pod, just seeing his excitement, man. He was loving it. It was a joy for me to see someone else be like, holy fuck, nice. Like,
This is incredible.
he was just like, this is insane.
Like from the time he walked in the door, he could see the whole arena with the ring in the center, and it's all lit up and everything.
Oh, yeah,
And you're
'cause
meeting the wrestlers, and
you know how like you're right there with the ring.
Yeah.
So much different from going to a WWE live event, right?
completely. And the wrestlers are walking around.
Walking around.
When you told me Kelly Klein walked by you, I was like, excuse me?
Yeah. Yeah, so it was a decent show, though. The matches weren't too bad. It was cool to see some of the New Japan guys there.
Yeah, Tama Tonga and those guys, and Evil and Sonata was there as well.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed seeing Evil and Sonata. That was cool. And same with the GOD guys. Like, cool stuff to see the New Japan guys you're not always going to see over in Canada.
No, totally. It's the GOD wasn't there when I went last year, but Evil and Sonata were. So yeah, it's cool. They always bring different guys too, right?
Yeah. As far as maybe a one specific match, then I don't know if I really had like a favorite standout match, honestly.
Was there anything you remember getting out of your seat more for than in another match maybe?
Well, I did really. So there was a match between ROH and PJ Black, formerly Justin Gabriel.
Okay.
And
from WWE. Okay.
I haven't seen a lot of ROH I haven't really seen much of any. So seeing him for the first time, great worker, good look, solid character, I think.
Is this you were talking to me about him after the show?
Yeah,
you said, and then you asked Younger about him, and he told you, yeah, this guy's sick.
Yeah,
Because the younger knew who he was, and you weren't too familiar with him.
No, not at all. Yeah,
going in at least.
but he's a wicked wrestler, man. I'm definitely a fan and look forward to watching more of his work.
Nice. Did he have any merch or anything available? Like, is he a big star
No.
there in Ring of Honor, or kind of
No.
up and comer?
He's fairly new to Ring of Honor. I think he's still undefeated, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. I guess he can only run with that so long. That's cool to see.
Yeah.
So obviously he won.
Yes. And
What was it? What was the main event?
the main event was Matt Taven against the other guy's name. Honestly, slips my mind because I wasn't even there for the main event.
Oh,
I
you guys,
actually
you guys left a little
earlier.
bit early, didn't you?
Well, I
'Cause you
think
had
the
to get-
boys stayed back.
Mike and Younger were
Yeah.
still there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think they might have stayed back, but I had to get out of there. So I caught like the entrances of the main event. And
Okay.
wanted to see that.
What about the GOD? Who were they?
That was actually the first match of the night.
Really?
Yeah.
Open the show?
Yeah.
Wow. So
Yes.
that Bullet Club music to open the show?
Well, no, they have their new music now, right?
Oh, it's different than the old.
As much as I like it, man, the old GOD music was the shit. Like that was the one. Even young, like we both said, they were like, man, their old music was a lot better.
Yeah, for sure. And is that the same music that I'm thinking of, like that all the guys use, like the Bucks and everybody, or is this a specific GOD Bullet Club music?
No, this is a specific GOD new. Like I don't know. You probably
No,
might
I
even
mean
know
the
their-
old one that you're referring to.
The old one was specific to them.
It's not the one I'm thinking of.
No.
Like, okay.
No.
All right. Sorry.
And it was wicked. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That one. And I honestly miss the face paint as well. Like now they rock those helmet kind of
Oh,
things.
yeah, yeah.
I miss
Yeah.
the face paint. I thought the face paint looked badass. And when Tama Tonga did his whole kind of movements down the aisleway, it was always kind of trippy,
Totally.
creepy,
And
and
it went really
in a
well with their
sense.
old music too.
Yeah, man.
That's weird. I wonder. I guess they really are trying to like distinguish themselves
Yeah.
from the previous Bullet Club, and this is a new thing, and they're this is their New Japan now, because I know
Yeah.
they're not big. Like I know it's just a part of their character, but I know Tama Tonga does a lot of bashing. I guess just kind of trashing the ROH. Like when they won that belt, those belts, they
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of threw them on the ground. They're like, we don't give a shit about no Ring of Honor. Fuck this. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, kudos to them. It's cool to
Yeah, good character.
yeah,
for
totally,
sure.
totally. So who did the boys meet? Because I know you didn't really feel too. I know you weren't like 100% sure if you were trying to meet somebody that night, but
Yeah. So who did they meet? I think Mike D did a meeting with Jay Lethal.
Yeah.
Who he's met in the past, and
yeah, that was pretty sweet. Oh yeah, you told me that Jay Lethal, and I shout out to Mike for this one. This was sweet.
oh yeah,
Jay Lethal told Mike that he reminded him of Flip Gordon.
yeah,
He's like, you remind me of Flip Gordon. Are you from?
Massachusetts.
Yeah, Mike's like,
Mike's like, no. Okay, cool. Like,
that's pretty sweet. But
yeah.
I'm sure Mike is bigger than Flip Gordon too.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
probably.
yeah.
And both the boys met God. Shout out.
Okay, yeah. So that's pretty. Actually, yeah, I saw the pictures of both of them. So
Yeah.
that's pretty sweet.
Yep. And I believe that was it actually, as far as the meet and greets.
The meet and
went.
greets go,
Wasn't
and then
there also Mike temporarily borrowed the IWGP Heavyweight Championship for a picture?
Oh, he did. Yeah, I actually wasn't there for that moment. That was during halftime. We were all kind of running around doing our own things at that time. But yes, that did take place.
that's pretty dope.
Was it the ROH title? I didn't.
No,
see
it was IWGP.
It was the okay. Yeah. Okay.
That's
Like
sweet.
the big heavyweight one. He
Was it like for sale? It wasn't the real one. Like it was
oh, yeah, I
No,
think
It was a replica.
oh,
Oh,
it
okay.
was? Okay.
Yeah.
like one of the ones that they were selling.
Yeah, but a legit replica,
Oh
Like-
wow,
like a nice one, like yours.
metal. Or
Yeah,
like
yeah,
or
yeah.
like or is
I
it?
think like yours. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
that's pretty sick. Either way, good show. You guys enjoyed it. Anything else you want to get into about the ROH event?
I gotta say, because I was really excited going into this to see Jeff Cobb, because I've kind of been getting into his stuff, and then to see him lose the TV title, I was kind of lackluster. I was like, fuck, really? First time I get to see this guy live, and he lost the TV title in a fatal 4-way. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not too familiar. Will, you might be able to speak more on Jeff Cobb than me. So I don't know.
Yeah. Are you a fan at all?
Oh, yeah, I'm a fan
Yeah.
of Jeff Cobb. I saw a bit of his stuff in New Japan, but mostly I see him in PWG when he teamed with Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
They were the
Okay,
Chosen
I've seen
Bros.
some of that. Mike D showed me a bit of that.
Yeah.
The most I've seen of him,
Just the
which
highlights though.
I didn't even remember, which is from Lucha Underground, honestly, because I watched a lot of that season 1, 2, and even a bit of 3,
Okay.
and he was heavy in there, but wearing a mask.
Is it
Yeah.
still on Netflix?
No.
No, they took it off.
Yeah, it's
that
gone.
sucks.
Yeah.
Because I would go back. I watched season 1 a while back.
Yeah.
When it was brand new.
Isn't like Lucha dead now? Like there's
I just know they're in a lot of heat with like trying to keep wrestlers in their company, and they're fucking over a lot of people, like not allowing them to go wrestle outside of Lucha Underground, and then they're not doing shows, so it's kind of like these people are stuck in limbo in the sense that they can't really wrestle at all.
mm-hmm.
So that's all I've heard.
Yeah, I feel like it might be done.
Yeah, Lucha's done. Like, done,
so.
done.
Really? I did not know that. It's shocking news. But yeah, I guess, I don't know. That's it from ROH War of the Worlds. Will you be back? Will you be going back next year? Or if they come to the Mattamy Athletic Center for Global Wars there in
know what?
February, I think I went. I don't know when it was.
I think it depends on the draw, like on who's going to be there.
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to bring me back. To see if I would love to see like a Kota Ibushi come over one time, guy like that.
I guess we'll wait and see within a year who Ring of Honor has in their company, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Other than that, pretty good show overall.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely be going next time. The only reason I couldn't go to this one is, well, for one, it was weird that it was on a fucking Thursday night, not a Friday.
Yeah.
It kind of didn't make much sense to me, and I just couldn't get the night off work, and then when I found out it was on a Thursday, then I definitely couldn't get not that I needed the next day off, but I would have rather had the next day off, and that definitely wasn't happening.
You know, it was the one random thing I forgot to mention, man.
Yeah.
So since I've moved, not to get into details of that on the pod, but it was not a far drive for me at all.
Oh,
I was there in like 15 minutes.
What?
Yeah, I was right around the corner.
Oh, because you were in the borough.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought you were up in fucking Markham.
Yeah.
Shout out to Canada and Toronto,
Yeah.
the GTA, for any of the
Canada.
outside. Yeah, Canada, outside listeners. But the only other thing I want to get into, not like major because I don't know too much about it. I just kind of want to send some positive vibes his way. Found out about Ric Flair going to the hospital today, so I'm not sure the details of any of it, but it's Ric fucking Flair. So if I can send some positive energy Ric Flair's way from the Pro Wrestling LookBack podcast, then I definitely I want to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a lot of definitelys. Anything else major from the week that you guys think we should get into?
Well, the Raptors, man. Let's get into the Raptors a little bit.
I think so. Your hat says it all, but fucking Kawhi.
Yeah, man.
I don't even know much about this shit, and I know that this was a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
For me to be watching the basketball game and only be watching the basketball game,
Yeah.
you know it's a big fucking deal.
Yeah, it was. When you told me after you watched, I was like, "Oh, nice! I'm glad you caught it
Live.
too, live."
Well, I told you I started watching some new. Well, it's not a new show, but I started watching some show on Netflix called Timeless, and I kind of had, because I got the two TVs, I had the game on mute the whole game.
Yeah.
And I was watching it the whole score the whole night, and then I'm okay, all right. And I see I think it was 5 or 3 minutes left in the game. I'm like, all right, this TV show isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Hit pause, turned on the TV, and I watched the whole thing. And I mean, I can't speak because I was by myself.
Yeah.
So obviously anybody listening knows Kawhi hit the game-winning first time ever in the NBA final shot, Game 7, buzzer beater.
It was like out of a movie, man.
Yeah, it really was.
It's fucked up.
But so I was just gonna say I didn't have that like jump out of my seat fucking excitement and like, oh my god, I'm screaming to the sky, because I was by myself.
Yeah.
But when it happened, and I'm not exaggerating, my mouth dropped to not literally to the floor, but my mouth dropped, and I just stood there staring at the TV with my mouth open for like a good 30 seconds to a minute, and I was like, holy shit, did that just happen?
Yeah.
Like and I was so happy that I, because it's one of those where you when kind of things.
Yeah, for sure.
And I totally. That's the most basketball I've watched all playoffs. I'm just not a huge basketball guy. I cheer for Toronto, of course, but I just don't have a lot of faith. We'll see what happens with the rest. But, good luck to them, and let's see what they can do against the Bucks.
I'm assuming you've heard about some places actually banning Drake's music while this entire series is going on.
Is that because of this Drake curse that I keep hearing about?
No, this is more. I seen something on the news the other day that like they don't want Drake in the Bucks. Like he's not allowed in the Milwaukee arena during their games.
I don't want him in the ACC or whatever it is, Scotiabank Arena. Isn't that a thing?
I think he'll still be over there.
Shout out to my boy Miguel at work. He told me that's a curse. Drake wasn't there on the Game 7.
He wasn't there on the Game 7. I was going to say,
Yeah.
He was there for some of the other games, but not Game 7.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So stay the fuck away. You got a big-ass penthouse fucking across this damn street. Watch the game from there with all your boys.
Just tell them to open the roof.
Yeah.
Just get a telescope.
I don't know if they can do that, but still.
There's no curse. It was broken in a UFC event one time because he was backing my boy Max Holloway, and he came through. Everyone was saying that too going into it. Oh, the Drake curse.
But that's not basketball. That's not exactly a great curse.
No, it is though, because they were all talking about it with when Floyd fought Conor. He was all on Team Conor, and you know what I mean. There's been other events.
I guess, yeah.
In sports.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just strictly a basketball thing, but I don't know.
Yeah, no. But enough of the Drake curse.
Yeah. No, more just giving props to the Toronto Raptors. Fucking first time going to the conference final in
second time.
No, I was gonna in 15 years or something like that. It's been a while.
No, not as long. No. It's been because we were there a few years ago against Cleveland in the Eastern Conference. Yeah.
Oh, we were.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Shows you how much I know.
But the crazy part about it all, man, to me, was the whole callback to Vince Carter
And the
Allen
final buzzer
Iverson in
beater.
that game, and how years ago it happened. Same scenario. The winner would go on to face Milwaukee.
Oh. I didn't realize that. I knew the callback to Vince and the shot that didn't go in, but
You know what I mean?
I didn't know it was Milwaukee. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and the 76ers again. It was also against the 76ers at the time.
Shit.
Vince missed the big shot, and we went home, but Kawhi did it, and here we are.
Toronto sports.
We're down
We're holding on.
1-0 right now.
But yeah, I guess we are talking a little bit after. So game 1 has happened, and game 2. When's game 2?
Friday night.
So it's going to be tonight.
Yes,
tonight. If you're listening,
exactly.
when the episode drops, it's tonight. But if you're listening later, then how was the series?
We won.
Hopefully. But yeah, shout out to the Toronto Raptors. Definitely cool. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Anything I figured just because I saw highlights and we talk, a little bit about everything like we talk about always now at the beginning of the roundtable. The UFC and that fucking suplex, those 2 women, that was crazy.
Yeah, from Jessica Andrade.
I feel like that ruins some wrestling moves for me because I seen that happen and I was like, well, shit, if that doesn't break your neck. You know what I mean? Like, I'm serious. I know we got to take wrestling with a grain of salt. I'm just being funny, but that did cross my mind because when I seen that happen, I was like, holy shit.
Dude, that crosses my mind every time I see Daniel Cormier in there, man. He throws guys around like that all the time.
And the match is obviously a lot harder.
Yeah, and like I say, to me, he's Suplex City.
Yes.
Like they call Brock, but they should, like DC might need that name.
It's sad that we're not going to see that, eh? Is that real? Is it true?
For now, for the time being. We'll see what happens, though, because UFC...
You don't think Dana's fucking with us?
It seems like they're in a weird situation and a weird time, too, where they kind of, as much as they're doing well, they definitely are lacking those huge stars of before, like a GSP, like a Ronda Rousey, Conor McGregor.
Sarah.
Exactly.
Yeah, those big names. Who would be
Brock?
Who would be that? Daniel Cormier right now? Like, who is the guy? TJ Dillashaw, but he got fucking suspended.
No, not even, man. They're not even like.
What is TJ?
They would have to bring.
What is TJ Dillashaw to the WWE before he got suspended? Give me a nice comparison. Is he a Dean Ambrose?
That's a tough one to tell you. That's a little bit of a tough one because
Okay.
he's not like a mega star.
But wasn't he a double champion? No.
Yeah, but he still. I feel like he never got put into that light.
Well, it's kind of maybe for the better at this point. I know
Yeah.
he's a really good fighter, but fuck, if you're messing around, maybe you shouldn't be. I don't know.
But yeah, new.
But yeah, no, sorry. Just the 2. Who were the 2 women before we?
So Rose Namajunas was the defending strawweight champion against Jessica Andrade, and this was in Brazil, and Jessica being from Brazil, so it was tough.
Who was the sorry to cut you off. Who's the girl with the shaved head? Which one? The girl that got slammed.
Rose. She was the champion going into it. Yes, and she was looking good, man, up until that point. It was a really good fight, honestly.
Well, that's what, and you don't see. I mean, I watched it was a sports center, like a genuine sports center tonight, highlights, UFC, and then they showed it, and I was like, this looks like it was pretty good, because I'm not a massive UFC guy, but it looked like a decent event, and yeah, if anybody hasn't seen it and you kind of like UFC or you want to see what we're talking about, look up those 2 women that Donovan just said are basically UFC 236, is that what it was, Don?
I suck at this all the time.
I think it was 236, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Look that up and watch this suplex onto her fucking head because it was crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Like a German suplex?
Kind of like I don't even really know how to explain it.
Yeah,
kinda, yeah, but more like on her front. I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
We'll show you after.
Yeah, I'd have to show you. It's not something I'd be too easy to.
It was just really brutal. Like she looked like that would be something that would break someone's neck, but it didn't.
An interesting story about that card, though, is that this card was in Brazil, and typically when they're in Brazil, they stack it with all the Brazilian fighters.
Yeah.
And all the Brazilian fighters lost up until this point. Like she was, at least on the main card, all the like Anderson Silva had lost earlier.
Yeah, I saw that. That was kind of what happened with his leg.
Fucked up his knee.
And then he was down,
and that was it. Yeah.
They called the fight. Is that like his? Okay, I don't want to get too long in the UFC talk, but I got a question for you. Mm-hmm. Is he not just completely ruining his record right now?
Well,
has he not lost like 8 of the last 9 fights or 7 of the last 8 or something like that?
Yeah, he's not. He's definitely not what he used to be. I think at this
We
point, a
all
lot
know.
of people should think he should call it a day.
I'm thinking from his record. Like when you look back at him in 10 years or 15 years and you look at his record and he's got these extra 9 losses
Yeah.
because he wanted to fight late into his career, it just doesn't pad your... I don't know. I don't know if that's something that UFC fighters care about as much as I'm making it out to be, but...
Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, his wins will always... His, like, crazy wins are going to
dominant shit will always outweigh it.
Because it's only, like... Yeah, it's 10 in total now.
Losses?
Yeah.
And what's...
But 34
34
total.
and 10?
So...
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I don't really know. Like I said,
No, you're right. It slowly does. Like, let's say he goes on, fights 2 more, and loses again. Yeah, it's going to start to...
Yeah.
We'll always still respect him and look at him as a legend. He'll always be that, but it does start to take away after a while.
It doesn't help, that's for sure.
But yeah, it was not a bad card. At least I really enjoyed the main event.
Nice.
And then the our boy Jake Hager over in Bellator
Yeah.
with another submission win.
I got a boner.
Yeah, his post-fight speech.
That was fucked. Why was the crowd booing him?
Because there was controversy with him holding in the submission a little longer than...
Oh, really?
Yeah,
See,
but...
I thought it was the opposite because I read something somewhere, and obviously I read it wrong, that like he thought the ref touching him was the guy tapping out, and that's why he let go, and he wasn't...
Yeah.
Obviously I read that wrong, but...
Yeah, that's what it... No, it was something along those lines where... Because even last time it happened, like I think the guy tapped, and he wasn't 100% sure if it was the ref. So similar thing this time, like he wasn't really sure, but it wasn't bad. There's been shit way worse than that.
That's what I was gonna... I feel like they're giving him fucking heat because he's a wrestler. He's a pro wrestler coming from... Even though he's good, I just feel like that's always... Maybe not always going to be there, but it's going to be there, at least at the beginning until he gets, 4 wins under his belt or something. I don't know. Pick a number.
But he didn't get too much problems last time. Not like heat last time when he picked up a win. So I think it was more to do with that, the submission.
Good luck to Jake Hager going forward, man.
He's good, man.
Totally.
he'll
And
do
all the
well.
WWE people are fucking on his back, like, in a good way. Like, they're supporting the shit out of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's he's doing well. He's, no offense to your boy, but he's not...
Well, he has a legit background.
No,
You know what I mean?
the wrestling and wrestling. I've heard enough, I've listened to enough Joe Rogan and him talk about MMA and say that, that's kind of the core. Like, if you could pick one out of all of them, I've heard enough fighters on his show say, like, that's probably where you'd want to start.
Yeah.
Because it's a good, if you can wrestle, then you can learn striking later rather than vice versa.
Yeah, well, it's like he has at least... I think everyone automatically hears people who don't know him, like
Pro
other
wrestling?
than us, they think pro wrestler and they think of, obviously, CM Punk and shit, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, whatever, like...
I seen a thing this week of him, though, and it was just a picture of him on some show.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, and it said, like, MMA fighter.
I seen that too, yeah.
And I'm not here to chirp Punk, but,
Yeah.
like, that kind of... It didn't make me upset, because I don't really give a fuck. But it was like, really? Like, just put pro wrestler. You know what I mean? Because you're not an MMA fighter. Like, whether he was for 2 fights, that's fine.
In the defense of that, like, I guess technically his occupation would be he still trains. Maybe he's going to fight in some underground league.
Yeah, maybe.
So
no, that would make sense. If that is
that's
the
the only
case,
thing
then
that I could
that's
think
fine. I thought he was retired from MMA, so that's why it's like, oh,
He
former MMA fighter.
he definitely
Come
won't be
on.
in the UFC.
Ever again. No,
I don't
Dana
think so,
said
yeah.
that unless he kind of beats...
Yeah, unless he went on some
Bellator.
crazy win streak in the
Bellator,
underground.
yeah, this is not going to happen. But, I guess I want to get into just a tiny little bit of my karting stories from last week. It was pretty sweet. Shout out to all the boys, Dan, Nico, Brian, Greg. We killed it this weekend.
Nice.
We last weekend, I guess. We went out. There's 5 of us, and 3 of us are in one weight class, and then the 2 other guys, Greg and Dan, are in separate weight classes a little bit higher. And we fucking cleaned up. The 3 of us finished 1, 2, 3 on the podium, and then the other 2 guys won their races. So it was kind of just a cool feeling for us. And me being now my 3rd season going into this, it's cool to see my own progression through, because obviously, like, if I was racing myself from 2 years ago, I might be lapping myself. So it's cool to see my own progression. I know you're looking at me, Will, like, fuck you. I could lap your ass. Anyway, but...
No, I was just going to say, why didn't you win? But
Well, I'm making my way there, and we'll get to it in the F1 update, but I felt like Red Bull 2018 here because, Nico and Brian are just in another level of being able to flick the cart around the track. So they pulled away. I was in 3rd. I qualified 3rd, and they pulled away and had an incredible fight. Like, I almost wish I was able to watch it from the stands because I caught myself a couple times going into turn 3 up the hill, and I'm watching these guys battle it out, and then I'm like, shut up, or not shut up, but focus in front of you on the turn. Don't watch them, because I'm looking at them like, shit, if he crashes, I'm rolling into first place here, because if they touch each other, this is me driving by both of them. But kudos to them for obviously their skill in that. But like you said, I'll get there hopefully one day. I told them, it's
biggest tip in those karts. Smooth.
Yeah.
I mean smooth.
Like, less movement on the wheel. I mean, some of these guys, they just know how to flick it into the fucking corners. And anybody who's never been in a go-kart, if there's a certain, I don't know, je ne sais quoi that you have when you can get these karts around, especially being a 1-speed engine and you don't have the gears that you can bring you back up or slow you right down.
I sure as hell wouldn't be able to pull it off.
No, that's the one thing I think about all the time, and especially, Will, because you've driven faster karts. But to watch it from the outside, it looks so much. And I don't know if have you been to the track with me, Don, yet or no?
No.
Okay, so when you come, you'll see. Like, it looks quick, but not anywhere even remotely quick as it feels when you're in the fucking thing, because you're sitting an inch off the ground. And I mean, we're doing 75 kilometers, whatever that is, miles for any American listeners. But I don't know. Shout out to the boys, and hopefully we can continue doing that all season. That would be ideal if we could go there. And I mean, there's 5 of us, and for all of us to walk away with a medal, I was happy.
Nice.
But kudos to everybody else out on track as well. And I don't know.
How's Chris doing?
Oh, he's doing great, man. And fucking shout out to Chris Lemmy, because that's the last name, right?
Yeah.
Because that motherfucker runs basically the entire karting program. And I mean, he's got a lot of people under him that pull the chains, but he coordinates it all, and he does a fantastic job, and it runs smoothly almost every time we're there, whether rain or shine. So, yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Shout out to Chris and the boys. But I guess we'll stick with the theme. Should I continue it on here, boys? We'll get it out. This will be cool with Will here this week.
Didn't even use the V12 engine.
No, it's current. I specifically, I'm so happy you noticed that, because Don, that's not something Don or Younger would have picked up on. No, I specifically use the hybrid V6 because we're in the hybrid V6 era, and I talk about the hybrid V6 Formula 1 cars. So I'm happy you picked up on that, because I thought about it. The V10 and V12 sound so much better, but I was like, this is just not representative of what I'm talking about. So as cool as it sounds, I figured I'd go with the real downshift and drive away. But the F1 update, Spain last weekend, kind of a snoozer a little bit, I'd say.
Yeah, well, that's just Spain in general. It's the nature of the track.
And they go there so often, they fucking know every
they
inch.
All testing. You could have 3 days of rain and all different conditions, and they would just know from all the testing they do preseason.
Exactly, they know what setups to run. They know what tires to use,
and it's just the nature of the track too, with how the cars generate downforce and the high speed corners. You can't get on the back of people on the exit of a corner, so then you're already on the back foot out of a corner. So you guys have DRS range. It's just the nature of the cars currently. So I hope the new rule set for 2021 I think changes things.
Yeah, well, closer racing. If you watch any F2, it's unbelievable how much closer those cars can drive behind each other. But the other thing I'm not huge about Spain, and we'll get into, I mean, them not going there next year, but I don't like how so many different series use this track. Like, you're watching them race, and you can see all these tire marks from drift competitions and different racing lines from MotoGP, and there's a lot of runoff area because of MotoGP, and I'm not a huge fan of that. It's kind of one of the reasons I'm not a fan of COTA, but I don't know. It was kind of a snoozer of a race, but fuck, man, Mercedes 1-2 again. What the shit is going on?
I don't know, man. Ferrari's napping. Like,
the strategists are.
Toto Wolff is getting in their heads. They're thinking they're faster than what they really are.
Wait.
Yeah.
So question as the outsider.
No, this is great. Donovan doesn't usually pitch in much, so I like it.
So your guys are still just killing it.
They won 1-2 again, first 5 races of the season.
That's nuts.
It's never been done.
That's wild.
It's first time ever.
So what if they continue to just?
I don't know, man. At this point, they're already doing things that haven't been done.
Yeah.
Like, I was gonna ask Will, because it's good we can bring this into a 3. How is this going to be talked about the way, like, the McLaren, what was it, 1988? I think the one that won like 19 of 20 races that season or whatever it was. Do you think this car, when it's all said and done, is going to be talked about in that kind of way, in the sense that it might be one of the best Formula 1 cars of all time?
If they keep the way they're doing, I think it definitely will be.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think those cars are talked about in the way they are because of the drivers that were had and the rivalry between them.
For sure.
Like, it's
you mean with Prost and Senna and
like, honestly,
Mansell,
like, I know everyone joked about it at the time, but Lewis and Nico, it was very close to what Prost and Senna kind of had, that dynamic, that butting of heads.
Totally.
And a car that was just dominant that season,
especially,
too.
yeah, 2014 and 15. I talked about that. I think I was by myself in the intro last week. But how this year it feels like they've gone backwards in the sense that Mercedes now has the huge gap that they had in 2014 and 15.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, the last like through 16, 17, and 18, the other teams were slowly catching up. And then all of a sudden 2019 comes around and they've lost their ground again, and Mercedes is better than everyone else. So they've just figured it out. Obviously, like I said last week, I'm a fan. I want to see these guys do well, but I'd like to see Ferrari win a race. I want to see them compete, and I want to see a guy like Charles Leclerc be able to potentially win races and compete against.
Well, he would have won the one, but then Ferrari.
Yeah, with the whole the MGUH or whatever it was. I'm not sure if it was that or a blown cylinder. It was one or the other, but yeah, I want to see competing. And if we're not going to get that, then that's the other thing I had written down here is I think this might end up being the Lewis Bottas show all year. And that kind of goes back to what you're saying, Don. And I think it's going to be these two guys fighting for the championship all year.
Well, hopefully around Silverstone we see some of the teams start to bring it up a notch, because that's usually when some pretty big updates are brought in, because they go back to the UK. That's where a lot of the teams are based. So
yeah, great
hopefully
point.
We see something change there, but I think Monaco is probably going to be another boring race, as much as I don't want it to be.
Yeah, I mean, qualifying is always fun in Monaco, and I get a kick, and you get it too, you do sim racing. I get a kick out of Monaco because I get a 1% glimpse of what it might be like to drive around Monaco when I do sim racing, and to think that they do that in real life and brush barriers and drive 260 miles an hour.
You think Monaco's fun, you need to drive Macau.
Well, there you go. I'm not too familiar with that track. And I know a lot of fucking
Formula
tracks.
3s on a track that's almost, I'd say, a 2-minute lap in a Formula 3 car.
Wow.
On lanes, 1 lane wide.
So it's Formula E.
It's not Formula E.
No, I'm just saying.
If you haven't seen Macau, just look up a race at Macau.
I will, because I'm curious, because I love street racing.
Like
my
Baku
favorite
on steroids.
Yeah, I love Baku. Baku's one of my favorite races. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love traditional circuits as well, but Singapore is my favorite race of the fucking season, and that's because it's the hardest race of the year. It's insanely hot. They have to do it at nighttime because it's too hot to do it during the day. And I love no room for error. Back to what I said 5 minutes ago, whatever it was. Coda, I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah.
I don't like that if you make a mistake, you can just drive over here or drive over there and you're fucking fine. No, put some sand, put something. I know maybe sand is a little too dangerous. Grass, something to penalize people if they run off track.
Yeah. It's just kind of the nature of the tracks we have. Tracks like Catalunya, Paul Ricard, they're designed to be racing tracks, but the races they usually bring are boring because the corners flow from one to the next,
and there's no,
so you don't have a setup to pass a guy. But you go to Canada or Monza or whatever, and you have these long straightaways with tight, hard braking zones, which make for excellent passing.
Yeah, no, you're extremely right, because even Spain has turn one, and then maybe the second DRS zone turn.
Yeah,
those two spots.
That's about it.
And that second DRS zone spot is not easy.
And even then, the first, as I mentioned earlier, the first straight. Because the last corner is a long, high-speed corner. You can't get close to the guy because of the vortexes the cars generate, so you don't get the downforce. So then you're already on the back foot in the DRS zone.
Very true. I like having you here for this, Will. I might have to call you more often for the F1 update. This is cool. What were you going to ask over there, Don? Sorry.
Oh, no, I was just curious if Will had a team or a guy, a favorite, maybe.
This season, I mean, if I had to root for a driver this season to win the championship, it'd be Bottas. Just because
Lewis's partner, Mercedes.
Yeah, as much as I like Lewis back when he was in McLaren, lately it's just I don't know. It's not the same Lewis Hamilton that I know. I remember watching
personality-wise or on the track?
Yeah, personality-wise, because I remember watching back in 2011 and everything, and he'd come back and do an interview or after the race, and it'd be all smiles, like he looks like he's having fun.
Yeah.
And now he feels like he's just this big megastar, and it almost kind of feels like he's towering above everyone else, and it's not the same. That's one of the reasons I also love Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah.
Because whenever they do an interview with him, he's always fun in games. He hasn't lost that sense of personality of, this is my job, I got to be serious. He still has fun with it.
Totally.
That is one of the biggest things I see in a lot of drivers, is that as soon as it becomes their job and they become these big names, they get all super serious. And like Sebastian Vettel, he started winning championships all the time. He became super hot-headed and super cocky.
Yeah.
But now he's at Ferrari and he's losing some races. He's not cocky anymore. He's a lot more fun and let loose.
That you're completely right, because Vettel, I mean, I can't speak to how much he was in between 2009 and 2013, but now with Ferrari, you're completely right. But it does work the opposite sometimes, because it's another thing I wanted to bring up. Max Verstappen seems like he's really fucking maturing, man. Because I've never been a huge Max Verstappen guy, and him getting, 3 fourth places and 2 third places to start the year, good on you. The way he speaks in interviews and talks about the races and the way he races now is just, he thinks. He doesn't just react. So you're not wrong. I completely agree with you said, but sometimes, getting that older.
I think that's mostly his age. Like,
For
I'm
sure.
the same age as him.
Yeah, that's true. He is.
I'm the same age as Max Verstappen. Like,
Yeah, and he started in Formula 1 when he was 17 years old.
yeah,
so, yeah.
I was racing karts at the same time he was racing karts, and he gets put in a Formula 1 car at Interlagos, and just
Yeah, he only raced one season out of a kart. Like, he was in karts, he raced in Formula 3, and then he was in Formula 1.
Yep.
That was it, which is freaking mental for anybody who doesn't really know a lot about what we're talking
first
about.
full-time season for Red Bull, not Toro Rosso. He already got a win.
Yeah,
that shows his talent, but he's like a young kid at that point still, so he's very hot-headed. And
that was his first race for Red Bull.
oh yeah,
It was crazy.
They swapped
They
him with-
promoted him up with Kvyat at
Yeah.
Spain in 2016, and the two Mercedes hit each other at the beginning of the race, and he won in his first fucking race for Red Bull. It was crazy. And Red Bull didn't win races because Mercedes was so good at that time, but they hit each other. So it was craziness. But
Fun
I don't
fact,
want to go
also at Spain.
Yeah, exactly. Also at Spain. Because I you know what's funny? Quick. My mom is, shout out to my mom, because she's super into racing now in F1, and I love it. But I showed her that on F1 TV. I pulled up the race. I'm like, oh, let's watch the beginning of this together. And she had never seen it. So we watched it together, and then like the Mercedes go into turn 3, and then Lewis comes up the right side, and fucking Nico cuts him off, and he hits the grass, and he spins around, and he hits him. My mom's like, oh my fuck, like she's freaking out, like what the hell is going on? And I'm like, yeah, this is nuts, eh? But
Okay, so if you're a fan of racing, do 2 things you need to do. 1, watch Macau, like I mentioned earlier, and number 2, watch more V8 supercars from
Yeah.
Australia.
yeah, I could fuck with that. I just love open wheel so much more, but I could definitely
Trust
get
me,
into it.
I used to love open wheel too because I raced karts like you.
Yeah,
But then I started watching a lot of closed cockpit like GT cars and stuff, and the racing is so much better.
Okay. I feel like we can talk about this more off pod, but I like the Le Mans cars when it comes to closed cockpit LMP1 type stuff. Just 2 small things. Well, one is super small. Shout out to Haas. They did a great job this weekend. Other than kind of more or less coming together near the end of the race, they did a really good job. And if that didn't happen, they would have finished, pretty high in the points. But this one, a little wrestling racing combined. Shout out to our boy Antonio Cesaro.
Yeah.
Sitting in the fucking Toro Rosso, getting a tour of the fucking car and the garages and everything. Bro, really put into perspective how tall this motherfucker is. Did you see the picture of him sitting in the car, Will?
I did not.
His head was covering the vent above the drivers.
Yeah, all the drivers are so short.
Yeah, so he's sitting in the car, and there's that circle vent above them there, Don, where their helmet would be underneath it, and Cesaro's sitting in it. And it might have been to do with the seat not being perfectly fit to him, but his head was covering the vent above him, so it wouldn't have even worked if he were to drive the car. And then he gave the pole little tire to Valtteri Bottas after the race, which I thought was cool, and I took a little picture. Maybe I should put it on our Instagram.
Yeah, put it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. That's I should have done it this weekend, but
Yeah,
Shout
why
out to
didn't you?
Cesaro. Yeah,
because I honestly thought about it right fucking now. That is honestly why. But yeah, so next week, a week from this, when you're listening to this, Monaco.
Monaco.
Yeah, epic race, probably one of the oldest. They've been going there since the 30s. And then the Indy 500, another epic race on the same day. Not Formula 1, but a huge day in motorsports. So anybody interested, kind of shoot me and Will a DM and let us know, because, we can have more of this going forward. I kind of say it every week.
Next weekend, right? Is this? Are we going to watch this next week? Want to watch this together next week?
100%, bro. If you want to come over on the Sunday morning, the door is open.
What about the Saturday for the Indy?
Oh, for practice?
Is it practice on Saturday?
Or qualify? I'm not sure how they do it. But the race would be on Sunday afternoon.
Okay. I get double header. Let's do it.
Let's fucking do it. So just to close it out, championship standings as of right now, Lewis Hamilton, 112 points. Valtteri Bottas, 105. Max Verstappen, like I said, doing well with 66 points, ahead of both of the Ferraris. Before we close it out, I'll give you the opportunity right now, Will, because I feel like it's the perfect spot. Why don't you plug?
Shout out to the Adrenaline Racing community over on Twitch and on YouTube. As you tell me to do the plug now. As I mentioned last time I was on the podcast, the little sim racing league we have going in Gran Turismo Sport. Just some fun things. I've been doing commentary for them. Really, really close racing in GT3 cars. It's just, we had the closest race and probably one of the most exciting races I've seen us perform at St. Croix. It's a made-up track that Gran Turismo made. just
That's
overall
pretty cool.
close racing. Like from flag to flag, it was fantastic.
Yeah, check it out, guys. It's pretty cool. If you're into sim racing or any video games in general, Twitch, that kind of stuff, and you like racing, definitely check it out. And our boy Will does commentary, so you get more of that thrill.
Yeah, you need to watch it more. You need to watch it more.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm gonna start getting into it more for sure. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So, where do you guys want to start? I think we should get into a little bit of the Money in the Bank talk.
Yeah, man.
It is that week.
Yeah, it's time.
Where do you want to start, though? I'll let you pick.
Oh,
I got an idea.
Yeah, you give it to me.
Welcome to the Kevin Owens Show.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Kevin Owens and Kofi Kingston. 2 nights from this episode being released.
Yes.
Are we excited? Money in the Bank, WWE Championship. Is it going to close the show?
I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't as the WWE Championship. What else is going? What else is going on there? Seth Rollins versus who?
It's Universal Wrestling, man.
No, who's Seth Rollins versus who? I'm actually curious. Who's he facing? I don't know.
Oh, AJ.
AJ Styles.
No, Kofi. Kofi's the biggest superstar they've had since CM Punk, hands down.
I think they're going to close it with the Money in the Bank match.
I want to hear Will's opinion on this. Are
Yeah.
you serious?
Yeah, go on that.
I'm serious. Like, the way the fans reacted, going crazy for Kofi Kingston up to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You haven't had fan reaction
No,
like
okay.
that since CM Punk for anyone. Like, name one person since CM Punk. Okay, maybe Daniel Bryan, but
That's what I was going to say.
Okay, Daniel Bryan, but even then, it wasn't like this. Daniel Bryan was kind of always there, and it's been a slow build. But Kofi Kingston, it was just like one night, and it was like that.
He's
fire.
he's right about the one night thing, because if I was Mustafa Ali, I'd be fucking...
And it was the same with
You better
CM
say
Punk. It
thank
just
you.
he comes out, does the pipe bomb, and everyone's like, CM Punk is the best.
No, but I think Daniel Bryan it was a different story. It was a different beast, man. I
Yeah.
watched both of them. Like, I watched the Kofi stuff and the DB stuff. The DB stuff was
Totally.
a different beast.
Definitely.
But he's
different
right
breed,
that the
yeah.
DB
In the
stuff
one
was a slow burn. Like
Yeah, for sure.
It did take some... He had to eat a lot of shit, and people had to see him eating a lot of shit
Yeah.
to get to the point where it was like, fucking, this is the guy. This is our guy.
Yeah.
I don't know about Kofi being quite CM Punk level, but I feel you in the sense that it's a good thing as much as WWE, and we all know it, the ratings are shit right now, and they've been down, and the product isn't the best that it could be. We have to give credit where it's due in the sense that Kofi Kingston was what people wanted, and Becky Lynch is what people wanted. And these are the fucking people that walked out of WrestleMania with the belts. These are our champions now. I mean, to a degree, Seth Rollins is the people that we wanted, or the person that we wanted as well. So, in a way, they are giving us what we want.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously it can be done better. I just mean, with all the negativity around right now, I think it is good to still acknowledge the fact that, hey, we pushed for Kofi. Like I've said many times on the roundtable, I'm convinced that was Kevin Owens' spot at WrestleMania.
Well, I was pushing for Daniel Bryan.
And, well, no, I just mean in that main event, whether he won or not, that was his fucking
I think it was Ali's
match
spot.
to be in. No way. Not the main event at WrestleMania. Not yet.
Yeah, they pushed him They had him beat Daniel Bryan, the WWE champion, on his first night in SmackDown.
I see that being more okay on the first night rather than if it was...
Well, he also beat him the next night on SmackDown, and then the next night.
What are your thoughts, Don? I
don't know. It's hard to say. With them, they're so fucking last minute with everything, too, so who knows where the fuck they were going.
That's true. That's true.
I totally hear both sides of it, though, honestly, because for a while, I think we talked about maybe Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan happening with a babyface Kevin Owens. And the Mustafa stuff, yeah, like he was on quite a roll before the concussion, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I see both sides.
For sure. What about this match here on the weekend? How do we think it's going to go down?
Well, just back to what Will said for a second.
Yeah, totally.
I actually, I wouldn't mind it as the main event. You're right, because it is the WWE title.
Well, yeah.
But it's just, I don't think that they even consider that. Like, I would be shocked if that was the main event. Honestly, I would. I think
that's kind of why I brought it up, if I'm completely honest, because
Yeah.
I did not think for a second, no offense, Will, good on you for hoping that the WWE title might be there, but they've taken it away. I assume now that the WWE Championship is not the main event. It's either the Universal show, or if I'm putting money on, I think it's the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we're getting a fucking cash in on the same night. Shit. If
No.
we are, it's the women's. You know what I mean? It'll be the women's one, and should they even do that? Because Alexa Bliss did that last year. Like, maybe we need another woman like Carmella walking around with a briefcase for a couple months.
Mm-hmm.
I think so, yeah. We need someone walking around with a briefcase a bit.
Who that's going to be, we'll get to in a bit. But we'll stick with, I guess, do you want to just get into predictions? I don't know. Or we can talk about a little bit about the match. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess we could just get to the prediction side of it. I mean, like, just to quickly touch on it again before I give my prediction, but maybe, like, the reason I think they should put it in the main event too is because, yeah, you're right. Like, I've said to Nick off the pod that between Becky, Seth, and Kofi, like, I have a 3-month kind of window where I'm just letting them do what they're doing. Let's see how it goes, and if they do well, they do well, and good on them, and I'll enjoy it. But thus far, I don't know. I haven't been blown away by anyone really.
That's what I was going to ask. How's the first month of Kofi been?
I like some of the intensity when it comes to him and Owens doing the stuff on SmackDown on the physical side.
Yeah.
As far as the overall storyline though, it is what it is. The gear is a really big bother
you've
for me,
stressed
as I've
that quite a
said
bit.
several times on the show. It's just like he just looks like a tag.
You
guy.
want him to distinguish himself.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit.
But
this
I mean,
point.
in fairness, the New Day is still a thing while they're waiting for E to come back.
No, and they can still be a thing, but my whole thing is that I just would like him to maybe, like, you see him and Xavier and they're wearing the same thing.
They look
and
like
he
a
has
tag team is Don's problem. He's fine with the colors being the same, but he wants distinctive gear where it's like that's Kofi gear.
As a counter argument, the New Day Kofi is what got him that championship in the first place. It wasn't the Trouble in Paradise Kofi that did it. It was the New Day Kofi.
No, I hear you.
And I don't think I
not
hear
even-
you too, but I don't think that's what you're.
No, that's not even what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, okay, so let's, they wear the turquoise and pink. That's their colors. Even if Kofi just wore pink.
Or I was gonna say like black
Just-
pants with like a turquoise something on.
Yeah,
it.
like he could still rep the New Day. It's just when I see him and Xavier with the exact same gear and then him with the WWE title, it just doesn't. It's like if Dash and Thing were one of
Yeah.
them had the IC belt and they're just wearing the exact same gear. But here I am.
yeah,
It just doesn't work for me personally.
No, and you've talked about that many times on this show.
But yeah, back to the match. I
We'll
guess.
go into predictions. We'll move on.
Let me hear from you guys first. Actually,
Kofi.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Kofi. I think Kevin could win. It's definitely possible. Like I would say more likely than maybe with the AJ Seth stuff we'll get to. But I'm gonna probably say Kofi as well. If I have to make a choice, I'm gonna write Kofi just because I think they want to continue the title reign, not because they don't want to put it on Owens.
what were you gonna say?
I'm gonna let you go first, guys. Something after the predictions.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Kofi as well.
Yeah,
But at the same time, if KO does it, I wouldn't be completely shocked because if they want to pull the plug on this thing, I could totally see them just doing it pretty quick.
yeah.
But I don't think they're going to. All that being said.
All right, what I was gonna say is, do you think shenanigans are gonna play in? Do you think Sami Zayn doesn't run it? Big E comes back?
Definitely possible. I mean, more possible than the Universal title. Like, I think if we're going to get shenanigans in one of those two top title matches, it'll be this one. Especially, like you said, we have a Sami Zayn that can be involved like he was on SmackDown. And Big E, I don't know what his situation is, how long he's out.
I know he's talking a lot on Twitter.
Well, yeah, did you see the stuff he was doing with Becky's mom? It was incredible.
No.
He was straight up hitting on Becky's mom.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like, he's like, I love her and shit. And then he posted a picture of him holding an iPad. And then, like, beside that picture was, like, his hands with, like, a picture of her mom and, like, his hand over top of the iPad. It was hilarious.
Oh, man.
But I'll give him credit for, still working while he's not working.
Surprisingly, though, honestly, I'm going to say that it might just be a straight one-on-one with these guys.
And they'll just finish it out. Kofi will beat him.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, Trouble in Paradise.
Yeah, I think KO might try and pull some stuff maybe throughout the match, but I think it's just going to be a straight, just them two. No Xavier, no Sammy.
I wouldn't be
just
opposed to that at all. That'd be a good match, too.
Mm-hmm.
Only reason I'm saying that is because I remember on SmackDown going back to KO saying, yeah, I'm going to do this. You think I'm going to run away? Like, I'm going to fight you on my own type of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see.
Alrighty, moving on. AJ Styles, Seth Rollins. I figured this is a good place to move on to next. I already talked about it a little bit. This one's pretty straightforward. I don't know why they chose AJ so quickly.
Yeah,
I think they should.
That seems like a SummerSlam match, if anything, right?
Totally. Or, yeah, I don't know. It just seemed like they could have stuck a Drew McIntyre or somebody else maybe in this spot. I mean, maybe you don't want Drew losing because he just lost to Roman and shit, but I don't know. Dom, what do you think?
I'm looking forward to the match, but it's one of those things where I don't want to set my bar too high going into it.
Because you don't think they'll get the time?
No, just because I don't know. Like I've said this before on other shows. You just never really know exactly how guys are gonna gel. Sometimes things look amazing on paper, and then when we get them, they're just different, and maybe they don't always work. Sometimes it just happens. That's just life,
true.
I guess, you know. So I'm not like, I'm looking forward to it. Hell yeah, it sounds real good on paper, but I'm not setting the bar super high.
Yeah.
Probably
Sometimes no pun intended, styles clash.
Hey, and you know what? It's probably not a bad idea to not set the bar too high on that one. You know what I love about this feud is that they're mixing in all the past shit. They showed footage of Seth and AJ fighting in high school gyms and stuff, and going way back, and Seth's family being in the crowd. And I just think it's cool that they're allowed to kind of bring that into the storyline. I'm just not huge, obviously, on this whole wild card thing and the fucking superstars being all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
That's a whole separate conversation in itself. But that's made me be less into this, having AJ be over on SmackDown too. It's like he doesn't even feel like he's really on Raw.
Yeah, seriously.
And like I said, I just think that they could have waited. This match didn't need to happen right now, because if I have to pick, and we can go into it pretty quick. I don't know how long you guys want to spend on each match, but I think Seth is taking this one, unless we get something like you talked about, Don, to me a couple weeks ago, where AJ takes it from him quick like he did Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
I don't really see it, but I don't know. I'm just gonna I'll get that. I'll put it all out at the same time. I'll take that, my thoughts, and then my prediction is Seth Rollins. So
yeah, I'm gonna say Seth Rollins too. AJ had the long run of the WWE Championship. They've been building up Rollins for a long time. They had him beat Brock Lesnar at Mania for the belt. I think they're gonna leave it on Rollins for a bit, see where it goes, see how he takes it. So I think I'm gonna go with Rollins.
Well, yeah. I guess I'm going to throw it off and just say AJ, just to be the odd man out.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Any I know, like you said, you're not setting the bar too high, but how excited are you to watch this compared to some of the other stuff on the show?
No, this I'm definitely looking forward to. Like, overall as a whole, I'm not like jacked, but this is definitely one of the matches of the night I'm looking forward to.
You know what? I actually am kind of jacked for this show, and it goes back to the points that I talked about 2-3 weeks ago on the round table, and the time, man.
It's nice to have that 5 weeks. It's not every
6
2 or 3.
5, 6. Like, it's great. It's been nice to build up to a pay-per-view, and we've had shout out to Newell and Moo and Hurdy and the guys coming over every Monday night to watch Raw, and these guys are excited. They don't watch wrestling all year consistently like we do. But I'm sure they're excited for this pay-per-view because they've seen 4 weeks of Raw, 5 weeks of Raw.
Yeah.
That are going to culminate at a pay-per-view, hopefully. You know what I mean?
Now, to play devil's advocate, you can have that time between pay-per-views, but it's how effectively you use that time.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. These 5-6 weeks could have been way more effectively used, like you just said.
Focused.
Focus everything. Like, well, the ratings show it. You know what I mean?
That's what I think has a lot to do with it for me too. Overall, it's just like it's different for those guys who don't watch wrestling as often as us, or have as long as we've watched it, right?
Totally.
So I can see the excitement from an outside point of view. You know, they just watch it. It is what it is, and then they're looking forward to the end game of it.
End game, shout out.
Yeah.
But
with the whole AJ Seth dynamic, though, I'm saying I think AJ. I don't know, man. I don't know if he's doing it. Like, out of all the champions between Kofi, Becky, and Seth,
yeah,
I don't know. There's something missing. I don't know what it is. There's just a disconnect. You know,
I'm totally with you, and I don't know what it is either. But I feel like you could take that belt off of him, off his show, and I wouldn't. I might take me a bit to be. Oh yeah, where's his belt? Like, it doesn't. He doesn't even stick out as a champion right now, and I don't know. It's because the whole Brock thing and the way it happened and him winning, I wasn't big on that whole storyline to begin with. So I think I'm with you there. It's Seth, and I loved Seth back in the day, but he just doesn't have whatever it is right now, that thing, that extra thing that gets you, whatever Kofi had going into Mania.
Yeah.
That magic, that spark that's there in wrestling and pro wrestling and WWE and sports entertainment, Seth doesn't have it right now, in my opinion, at least. Yours, obviously.
I think AJ is going to turn the table too in this one, and I'm not
turn
to say
heel.
Yeah, not to say like that this is it, And like you guys said, SummerSlam match, this and that type of match. I think the feud shall continue throughout the summer. I think that's probably what we're going to get. And
I would be fine with it. I don't know how quick the next pay-per-view is, though, and what the next pay-per-view is, whether it's... They changed the
Stomping
name.
Ground is the next one.
Oh, yeah, it was used to be Backlash or whatever.
Yeah, weird name, but I guess it's better than Fatal 4-Way or Triple Threat.
Yeah.
Or Stairs and Chairs. But yeah, I'm gonna say my boy AJ Styles.
AJ, they don't want none. Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Lacey. Let's talk about it all at the same time. My fucking girl. She's walking out with both belts. I'm saying it right now. This has been the most intriguing shit on television for me. This is the stuff where if we're talking during Raw, it's, hey, boys, shh. This is the stuff we care about. This is what we want to watch, all right? That's kind of how I felt lately. This is, I don't know. I like the two belts thing, obviously. And I like that they're doing the double blonde twins and the contract thing the way you talked about to me off air with two of them on one side of the table and Becky on the other side. It's been really cool.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, I don't know.
Well, I could see her coming out with both belts. But as you mentioned earlier, I think if she was to lose one of them, it's probably going to be due to a cash-in.
Yeah, that's definitely possible.
I could see Charlotte doing her snapping like she did to Ronda and Becky losing it that way. Someone cashes in.
That's actually, I didn't think about that, to be honest. That's actually, like, Charlotte, like you said, do the exact same thing that she did to Ronda, lose the match, go crazy, beat her up, and then we get, I mean, who, though? We'll talk about it, maybe we'll talk about that match next, but I don't know who that could be. How do you feel about this the dynamic of the three of them and Becky fighting somebody from either show? I know you don't watch Raw and SmackDown week to week, but from what you have seen maybe on YouTube clips and stuff like that, do you like the dynamic?
I think it's interesting. I think Charlotte, out of both of them, would probably be the most likely to take a belt over Lacey. Lacey, I just don't feel like she's ready.
I don't think she's ready either, but I'm happy that they've put her in this position too, because she's done extremely fucking well. All her promos are great. Everything she does
is something
is
new.
good.
It's something interesting. It's not the same three people at the top all the time.
And she's confident, man.
Yeah.
She doesn't sound, and whether she is or she isn't, I have no fucking idea, but she doesn't sound like she's regurgitating lines, man. Like,
no. She comes off very
natural
in the character and everything, yeah.
She knows it. I mean, she is a confident fucking former Marine, so she whoop our asses, but you know what I mean?
Speak for yourself.
I knew, you know what? I fucking knew that was coming too. I was, you know what? I was about to be
but
whoop our asses. I can't speak for Don, but that's what I was about to say.
But on Lacey and kicking ass, man,
yeah.
I'm picking her. I think Lacey Evans. I think they're gonna just hot shot her with the title. Honestly,
is she gonna give her the women's right 1, 2, 3, or is there gonna be some...
No. They'll have
Come on.
They'll have a competitive match.
No. I don't mean.
You're gonna
just a quick
Seamus Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, no, that's not what I meant. She better not be doing that. I mean, is she gonna win clean? Is she gonna hit Becky with the women's right 10 minutes into the match?
Actually, here's an interesting question: are they gonna have the matches back to back?
Well, yeah, that's the.
This is what we talked about too. I'm happy you brought that up. Originally, no, I didn't think so. But I said this to you Tuesday night, Don, I think it was. I think they're going to have the Lacey-Becky match. Becky's going to come out on top in a good match. Lacey's going to look strong. Becky's going to look strong. Becky will be, tired and whatever. She won. And then Charlotte's music's going to hit right there. Boom. Becky's still going to be tired.
Yep.
And then Charlotte's going to come out, and she could win the belt here. Do I want to see Charlotte walking around with the fucking belt on SmackDown?
Again?
No, I don't. Does it fit her and it makes sense? Yeah, but I want to see something different. You know what I mean? Give me something. I don't know. Nikki Cross. Lacey.
Ember Moon.
Maybe on Raw, but
you have all these women. Like you mentioned Nikki Cross. We got Ember Moon.
Yeah, maybe Becky retains and Lacey, or the SmackDown one and Lacey wins too. Either way, I haven't done it tonight. I'll pull it out right now, but wrong one. There you go. Applause. Wrong one. But applause to WWE for this storyline because I've enjoyed it myself.
And you could actually say they did a good job because we actually don't know what's going to happen. We're going in blind. There's so many different possibilities that could come out of this that could work in the long run.
Yeah, and we talk about, and whether it was fucking intentional from day one or not, but we talk about, them thinking ahead and planning long stories. Hey, man, this Becky Charlotte stuff, as much as it's a lot of the same shit we've seen over and over again, it's a long feud. These two have been going. They showed the video this week. It was awkward as fuck. Charlotte came out and cut a promo and said, hey, watch this video. And then when the video was done, she wasn't there. It was like, okay, did you just come out to...
Was this on Raw?
It was on SmackDown, and she came out and she She just kind of talked and said some shit, and then basically said, "Here's a video," and then it was a video of their rivalry. But then like they came back from the video, and it wasn't like Charlotte was still in the ring with the microphone. It was like, let's move on to segment, whatever. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Like it was literally like
Relive
Charlotte
the rivalry.
Charlotte basically just like introed the promo video, and then the video was done. Not the best, but
seems unnecessary.
I just liked the video and the fact that they showed everything. They showed NXT. They showed all of it.
Yeah, I remember that part.
It was cool.
No, I was watching it with you. I'm just saying I
yeah.
totally blanked out and missed that intro and outro part of it.
Yeah.
I remember the little package though.
Oh no, and totally, I saw it too. But don't get me wrong. The refresher came from listening to my boy Wade and him kind of pointing out some of the shit. I'm like, fuck, he's right. I didn't see that. But yeah. I guess we gave our predictions. I'm going Becky.
Like all the way, just double.
I think, you know what? I'm going to say there might be a bit of a...
Oh, yeah, you said Becky and then cash in. So she'll beat Lacey and then...
I thought that might be a possibility, but I think what's going to happen is you're going to have a grueling match with Charlotte, and then Lacey's going to come out immediately after, and I think Lacey might take it.
So they reverse kind of what I was saying.
Yeah. You know, kind of have Lacey be like replacement for Charlotte. Maybe Charlotte steps back a bit, and get some new superstars in the limelight.
Yeah, or put Charlotte in a tag team, maybe. I don't know. That would be fire. I don't know who her tag team.
Just give her some time off.
Well, that too, but she knows she doesn't want to be away from her boy, El Ibalo.
They can't afford it at this point. Fuck.
No, probably not that too. She's a ratings draw in itself. But I just mean, if it wasn't Lacey the one doing this right now, fucking stick them two together. That'd be a solid tag team. But I don't know, the tall blondes. The two tall blondes.
The blonde bombshells.
Maybe, yeah, that's a little too
right
on the nose.
I mean, Lacey's got the 50s thing going, so
that's true.
That tag division is a joke.
Dawn, yeah, I was gonna say the looks we're getting from Dawn. I wish you guys could see the video.
It's just all these makeshift fucking teams, man. That just sounds.
That's why I was happy when the Iconics won, man, because they've been a team since day one.
But
they have no opponents,
Oh no, I know, but.
So let me just throw an idea for you. I know we're doing this Money in the Bank looking thing, but idea. What if they were to take tag teams, just the tag team division, and do a 205 Live and kind of make it its own brand?
I mean, the women or the men or all?
Kind of both. Kind of like having be an hour and a half long
show.
Yeah. Like you could still have tag teams on Raw and SmackDown and singles matches on that show, but kind of focusing on the tag teams. Because if you look at the men's tag team division, in the past year and a half, you haven't had a single repeat Raw Tag Team Champion.
No, and it's because there isn't enough to split between two shows. So yeah, you might be right, but at this point, man, like, do we need more shows?
No,
like,
no.
We don't. Like, we have 5 hours of Raw and SmackDown. We have 1 hour of NXT. We have 1 hour of NXT UK. We have 1 hour of 205 Live.
If you make this tag team show its own thing, you can maybe cut out that 1 hour of Raw.
I think they should do a fucking women's show. I want to see what happens. I want to see if put the women on their own show. And
I would love that, man, but they can't because of the segregation and how it would come across. You know what I mean? If you've got all of a sudden only men can go to Raw and SmackDown now, like, it's not that I don't like.
No, but just the women are doing so well, right? Everyone, the women's revolution and all this stuff. So why not give them their own show? Let's see what happens. Let's see how it goes, right?
Yeah. Hey, you never know.
I don't know. I'd be interested
Diversity.
in that.
What about the women's Money in the Bank match?
Who we got in it?
Natalia, Dana Brooke, Naomi,
No.
and Alexa Bliss being substitute out for Nikki Cross. Maybe, who knows? But that segment was fucked this week.
No, it is Nikki Cross. She is in it.
Oh, okay.
It's confirmed.
Okay, well, either way, like that segment with Nikki backstage, all of a sudden she's not crazy anymore. She talks to Alexa like she's just any other diva. That was weird as fuck. But the SmackDown people, Bayley, Mandy Rose, Ember Moon, and Carmella. Do you guys have anybody that
list the names again?
Stands out more than anybody else? Natalia, Dana Brooke, Naomi.
The SmackDown.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'll just name them all. Natalia, Dana Brooke, Naomi, Nikki Cross, Bayley, Mandy Rose, Ember, and Carmella. Silence.
Ember wins, and I'm going to say Nikki Cross wins.
Those are your picks for potential winners from Raw and SmackDown? Do you have any thoughts, like, going in?
Nikki Cross is the only superstar on the roster that in that match really that has some kind of background or at least fan intrigue behind her.
Yeah.
So give her the briefcase, let her hold it a bit, maybe do some crazy Nikki Cross things with the briefcase, attacking superstars and stuff.
Maybe I could see a beat up briefcase, her running around with a smashed up, like we talked about a few weeks ago, smashed up briefcase. That'd be all
But
right.
you said she's not crazy anymore, so I don't know.
Well,
It's WWE.
They don't. Yeah, they don't remember that. That was last week.
Yeah.
You know, like that's
Vince
where
McMahon will wake up and go, I've got it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't know why they did that with her, but I totally won't be surprised if next week she's crazy again in the back, scratching her head in the corner of the boiler room.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe she'll come out in a fucking dress. I have no idea. I just mean, I don't know. I'm excited because I want to see Mandy Rose with the fucking briefcase.
I was gonna ask, she is in this, right?
Yeah,
I was thinking,
and Sonya gave her the spot.
Who's their person? Who's their kind of?
I don't like. I'm thinking too hard here, but like, imagine they did a cool thing where Mandy wins, and then at the next pay-per-view we get Sonya, like, or Mandy like challenge, or Sonya challenges Mandy to a match for the briefcase, and she doesn't have to win, but I just mean it builds on the whole fact that the only reason Mandy's in the match is because Sonya said it was okay.
Yeah, I could see that.
That's too logical, man. I don't know if that's a great idea, but they're, WWE, man, that's just too good. It's too good to be
Too much thinking involved for that one, for one man.
too much attention
What are
to detail.
storylines?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think because of that, they actually
No,
gave us a segment backstage where Mandy Rose said, like, we can, or you're gonna go, and then Sonya's like, I know what you're trying to do here. It's okay. You can. I talked about it a couple weeks ago, but it'd be cool to bring that full circle because anybody else in this match is kind of gonna be a little bit of a lackluster win, I think, unless maybe Nikki Cross shocks us and all of a sudden she's getting a major push.
Yeah. What about what if Bayley won and took out her her hairdo and just changed up a bit, switched her character.
Unless she's coming out on the Firefly Funhouse with fucking Bray Wyatt, and she's got a freaky little mask
that'd
too.
be great. That'd be
then
awesome.
I don't want to hear it. Because that I could fuck with.
I could fuck with. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like your whole thing on Mandy and Sonya. That actually would be good. And you're right. Like, she wouldn't have to win the briefcase, but a little feud after.
Yeah.
I miss those. That used to be a thing, man. People kind of screwing someone and maybe challenging for the briefcase. That happened a lot in the past.
Yeah.
Was it? Because I remember one match that actually happened where someone challenged for the briefcase, and that was between Mr. Kennedy and Edge won because of stuff that happened. But I think that's the only other time we've seen someone actually try to challenge for a briefcase.
It's happened with Cena too.
Cena and Dolph.
But Cena
And
won.
Cena lost.
Or Cena lost, sorry.
Like, Dolph defended it against Cena in a ladder match.
And kept the briefcase.
Like, the one with Cody and Sandow wasn't necessarily for the briefcase, but it was about the briefcase. So, like, that I still kind of put in that realm in my mind, I guess.
Did Corbin lose his in like that, or did he just not
He cashed in and then didn't win.
Okay,
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
All that being said, my pick, though, you know what? You got me with this. Like, I want Ember Moon. That's who I would want to win, but I think Mandy Rose is actually going to win it. I do. I really do.
Yeah, I kind of really do. She's who I want to win, and then that's kind of who I think is going to win as well.
Or wait, is there a Raw and SmackDown for the women's? Or is it one match and there's 10 women?
Just one? Or?
8, same as the men. So there's 8 people, 4 and 4.
Oh.
4 and 4.
Okay.
Yeah, they've bumped it up to 8 now rather than 6. I think 6 was a good place to be at.
Yeah.
8's a little much, but I mean, whatever. Everything's a little much now in WWE.
Just keep hiring superstars.
I just mean it's all a little much. It's a little long. WrestleMania's a little long. We got a lot of too many
8 shows.
8 shows.
UK,
like you just
Japan.
said, too many superstars. There's a lot of, but I guess it's like if their mentality, this is totally off from what we're talking about, but if their mentality is like, you know what, let's just put out a shit ton of stuff, and if some people take a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of, it's just like a big buffet of fucking sports entertainment, and you just select what you want on your plate, and then you move on. You know what I mean? That's kind of what they're going for. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, actually.
Yeah.
Who do you have a pick, or you said?
I said Nikki Cross or Ember Moon.
Okay. Yeah.
So Mandy Rose from
Yeah,
us. Let's just move straight to the men's match. Sami Zayn, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin.
Oh, there you go. That's your winner.
Ali. Fuck that. I don't care. I don't work for WWE. His name is fucking Mustafa Ali.
Yes.
Finn Balor and Andrade Cien Almas.
Did you see?
He's stressed. I like how you stressed the Andrade.
Just
Randy Orton is the final.
There was. They did a mockumentary on the WWE YouTube channel about the ring announcer. Did you see that?
No.
Well,
yes, actually, but I didn't watch it. But I saw it's like why Greg Hamilton is the greatest ring announcer. I haven't watched it.
There was a clip in it when he was like going up to the superstars, just saying their name, practicing their name. He's like Ali, and then Mustafa's like, oh, back to 2 names now.
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't understand why they do that shit. It bugs the fuck out of me, especially that one.
Yeah, that one.
Because like I thought the Mustafa thing was cool because it you could tell that he's of a different background and the name relates to it, but he doesn't. At the same time, he's not coming out in a fucking turban like stereotypical.
Yeah.
Terrorist or some bullshit like that. Like he's just treated like a wrestler.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just stupid. But Sammy subbed in this week for for Braun Strowman, obviously with everything that happened on Raw and the false count anywhere and Drew and Baron getting involved and all the craziness that happened.
Everything but the kitchen sink.
Exactly. Maybe the kitchen sink as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Fuck.
That's a star-studded match, to be honest.
It is. It is.
Other than Baron Corbin, but like,
come on.
I mean, no shot against the man, but people do not want to see him win. I get that's how wrestlers work. If you're getting a reaction, you're doing something right.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time,
it's go away heat, which we've all said many times.
Yeah. It's not, boo, we don't like you. It's, we don't like you.
We don't want to see you.
Yeah.
It's not we don't like you. It's we don't want to see you.
It's kind of both.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know. We're moving pretty quick, but I think it's cool if we just go through predictions for the rest of the matches. I mean, I don't know how much you guys want to get into it, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that Andrade. I talked about it. I think it was with 2 weeks ago with Younger and you, Donovan, and how I just think it would be ideal to see him just, well, for one, just shut up and let your girl talk, because it just works better. I'm not saying I'm not racist, okay? It's just, it works. This works. When it worked in NXT, you barely spoke, and all of a sudden you became the NXT champion, and your woman was pushing you and making this. It's a character. Some characters work silently. Like, look at Paul Bearer talking for Kane or Undertaker, different guys back in the day. Like, certain things work. But back to him winning, I could totally see him just standing there, briefcase in the air. Maybe he speaks Spanish. Maybe he cuts, screams like Asuka used to do in Japanese. Like, that'll work. And then you can't tell me.
Isn't that kind of what he does, though?
No, he tries to speak English, and it really doesn't.
I remember when he first came on, he would do the Spanish thing after Zelina would speak. Now
he comes in and he tries. I'm not going to try and mimic it because I really don't want to. He tries to speak English, and it's just not working. And I mean, shout out to the 20x20 boys. There's fucking people out there that are going to understand you if you speak Spanish. So just, there's a lot of fans that are Hispanic wrestling fans.
Actually, I mentioned it. Why don't they do that more? If they had the entire reason he's there is because the Fox wanted an actual Hispanic superstar on the show. That's why they moved him back to SmackDown.
There you go.
So if you have him speak English, what's the kind of point?
I don't know. That's what I mean. I just think it would be ideal. Have him speak some Spanish. Have her cut the fucking epic promos. She can hold the briefcase sometimes too. It doesn't have to be him holding it in the air. But
if you actually, now that you mention it, and I don't think about it, I can see Andrade winning and then cashing in on Rollins.
Ooh, to go over to Raw. You're saying back to Raw.
Yeah.
Well, you can go anywhere. It's wild.
Yeah, wild card.
Wild card rules. Fuck me, man. I hate that shit right now. I hate it. I just don't like when shit isn't definitive. It doesn't make sense. There's
in fairness, it wasn't WWE's idea. That was...
Yeah, it was Fox and USA saying we don't want to share, or we don't want to divvy up the wrestlers.
I thought it was because your ratings suck right now, so we need superstars.
That's part of it, but I think the other part of it is it's two different networks, man. This is two completely different companies, and I don't think USA is going to say, yeah, okay, we get Rollins. Like, this isn't the draft between USA and Fox.
The thing is that it doesn't. They don't really have a say in the storylines that they produce, though. Really,
which, to a point, they do. I mean,
to a point. I mean, obviously, if something crosses the line
exactly.
at some point,
they'll
step in. But
that's what I mean. They're buying. They know they're buying a PG product.
They're not going to come in and be like, "No, we want to see Seth Rollins be champion." They're not going to do that. I mean,
no, probably not. No, I mean, you never know. But I would say you're probably right in that. That's probably not in the cards.
They should just get edgy, man. I've been saying it. I think they should just get it. They want some ratings. They should just get a little edgy, show a little skin.
I mean, at this point, they have a PG product when every other pro wrestling product out there is PG-13 or R.
Yeah.
You already. I mean, I get you're trying to go for the audience of kids, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to try and compete in this now global wrestling market against these other companies that offer so much more than you in just terms of rating,
you.
But you know what?
It's a tough one though, man, because you got to keep the kids there. I don't want to not have kids watching wrestling.
No, but here's the thing,
because I got a lot to say.
Here's the thing to think about for a second. I don't know, let's say kids who maybe 5 years ago seen the Shield come in and they were a little bit younger, they're a little bit older now, and maybe they're still tuned into the product. So since the product is growing, maybe they're going to slowly change it with the fans that it's growing with.
No, it should. I just think it should still have, because wrestling's very unique in this way. And I talked to you, I shouted it out before we started recording, but anybody who is a fan of him or is interested in pro wrestling interviews, go check out the interview with Ty Dillinger, Sean Spears on Edge and Christian, because he's talking about, like, I totally lost my train of thought. What were we talking about before I said Sean Spears?
Edgy.
Age rating.
Yeah, okay, him. He was telling a story about when he was a kid, and I this is kind of blew, like, I had a fucking one of these moments in my head when he said it, and it was like, holy shit, because he said he was a little kid watching wrestling, and he's seen older guys watching wrestling, and his reaction in his head was, oh, like, I love this, but, like, they love this, so, like, that means, like, I can love this when I'm them, like, when I'm their age, and, like, wrestling's really cool, and I never looked at it that way, that, like, you would be a kid and see older wrestling fans and be like, shit, like, I don't, like, grow out of this. Like, this is something that, like, you continue to be a fan of. So, yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying make it all for the kids, but I think that it's awesome that we have that thing where, like, I want to get some of my younger brothers into wrestling, because I know if I get my younger brother who's 12, 11 into wrestling now, then when he's 25, he'll remember it just like me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He'll have that more of a nostalgic to look back and watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was kind of a random
I totally hear what
off Money in the Bank talk, but it's good. Predictions from you guys? Did you? I said Andrade winning the Money in the Bank men's match.
Honestly, it's star-studded, that entire match. It's hard to say because they could go so many different ways with it.
I had a question. When you brought up that whole thing of Fox and Hispanic wrestling, where's that? Is that like a thing? Seriously?
Yeah, that was the thing. They specifically moved Andrade from Raw to SmackDown.
Because remember he was on Raw for 1 week or whatever? Like,
yeah.
They switched him back?
Yeah, from the shakeup, because SmackDown didn't have any Hispanic stars on the show, really. So they wanted one.
And they lost Ray.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ray went over to Raw, so that does make sense. And there's nobody else. There isn't that. It's not like you got the Mexicals running around the lawnmowers and shit anymore. So, not that they're the only Hispanic, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot.
But now they have
right now of current.
Oh, they're probably gonna call up Del Rio soon, man. Seriously, look out.
Call up from where?
Del Rio's coming back.
No,
he's coming back.
No,
all right,
yeah, we're good.
Out.
Me and Will are good on that one. You and Younger maybe can
take
Royal Rumble.
Take your Perro to the backyard.
Royal Rumble.
I don't know. Is your boy Baron Corbin winning, Donovan?
No,
They want to start a riot.
Yeah,
fuck. I think, like, in the WWE mindset, they want, like, Drew. You know, that's who's probably gonna do it.
I would love that.
They've been building him for a while.
I would love that. That'd be my second choice.
No, I can't.
Should we talk about this on air? Because me and you have almost got to the point where I feel like we were fucking arguing.
Do it.
What about Drew?
Yeah, bro. What the fuck do you mean? No, like.
He's just not.
I know he's a guy that could have been it.
I feel like he's just indifferent. Like, people, like, I don't think they boo or they cheer. He's just there. Like, he's just there. Like, I just feel like people feel like he's just indifferent about him. It's not like we
no
boo
reaction?
him. Like, like, I just don't think people care about him.
You see,
But that's not what you told me during the week. Sorry to cut you off, Will, but you were saying that you didn't think he needed it.
He doesn't
He
need
could
it
be
either.
fighting Seth Rollins right now,
that
no
is another-
problem.
That's another reason, yes.
But that doesn't mean that he can't walk around with a briefcase and threaten people for 2-3 months and keep him relevant. Maybe build up some of the losses that he's had.
Yeah, but he's already looked at like that. Like, to me, it's like last year when they gave it to Braun. Like, you don't need to fucking do that. Give it to Sami Zayn or Andrade or Ali, Ricochet. Well, give it to someone who I wouldn't expect could be fighting for the title in 2 months.
That's
more what I would like to see from it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's fair. That's a different way to look at it. But you're
like, that's what this shit was built on originally.
Yeah, no, that's
Edge
what I was just
never
gonna
a
say.
fucking main eventer.
Most
before
of the
he
guys,
was.
fucking Ziggler back then.
Yeah, man, all those-
I know what you mean.
So-
RVD, I guess that was his first championship that he won. So yeah, I see what you mean. I just don't. I'm not gonna be mad if Drew's walking around with a briefcase either.
No, I will be. It's much like when Braun won. Like, I liked Braun, but I was just like, I don't want you to.
And then he lost the briefcase
to win it last year. Right?
Yeah.
Was that last year?
No, yeah. Well, he didn't lose the briefcase. He used it to cash in.
Yeah.
And had a match though. It was a 1-on-1 match with Brock Lesnar in a cage match, or with Roman Reigns in a cage, and then Brock Lesnar interfered and fucked them both up. That's what happened there. But
with
still lackluster. Don't get me wrong. But
I think Sammy being launched in there at the last minute, I think he's gonna sneak one out, and I think he's gonna get the briefcase.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to Sammy getting the briefcase. He's got something interesting going on right now. But to the point I was going to make earlier, I was going to say what it feels like Drew hasn't really done anything, and the fans aren't really reacting as we think they were, because they're waiting for that moment. They're waiting for him to actually start going after that championship. They've been building this for a year and a half now, and they're just waiting for them to finally pull the trigger. And I think they may be taking a little bit too long for it, but if he finally gets that briefcase, it's just going to start to slowly climb up again, that interest.
at least the fact that the three of us have completely different sights for where he could go, that's a good sign for Drew. It's not like all signs point to downward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's a positive to take out of that, at least. One more match that I want to talk about with you guys, and the other ones I think we can just kind of get predictions and then get out of here. But Shane and The Miz.
Yeah.
Cage match. I know you've been excited for this one, Don.
Yeah, man. Because I thought originally a cage match might happen, somewhere else in the summer. Yeah, SummerSlam probably. But here it is.
Cool
And
that
this
they've
is-
kept the feud.
Yeah, I think this is one of the other matches on paper I'm more looking forward to.
Yeah.
Like, if you had to ask me what I want to see, probably I'm interested to see Becky and Lacey, how they work, Seth and AJ, and probably this one.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with you. I mean, as much as I've talked about, I'm not a huge Shane fan. It's cool to see Miz and the rise of Miz as a babyface. I really like it. And then Roman talking to Miz this week on Raw and saying, come on, give us the Miz we want to see, not that guy. We want to see this new,
What show is he on now? See,
He's on Raw. He's on Raw.
Okay.
He got
Yeah.
moved over. But I know with Roman being...
Yeah, it's all confusing.
It's they got scared, man. They took Roman off Raw and they had bad ratings. And like, shit, we got to put him back. I'm not kidding. That's actually what it is.
But, not to get too onto it, but has it really benefited that much putting Roman? Do you think this is...
I don't think right now
fucking
putting him
saving
back
grace?
has, but when he left in the fall, the ratings did go down immediately when he was gone.
When he was gone?
Yeah.
But see,
That's a fact.
But ratings were bad even when he was around, before.
But they got worse, is
I
what
know-
I'm saying.
I know Brock's is actually...
Either way, whether they were down here,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean, visually, if they were down here, it doesn't matter. When he left, they were lower.
But I don't think it's him, man. I think it's just the product is just getting weaker and weaker and weaker.
Yeah. Now I would agree with that, but when he got sick,
You know
no,
what I
man.
mean?
That was like the Kofi Becky perfect time. He's just a big... Whether I hate him way more than you two, but he's just a draw, dude. People want to watch this guy as much as he sucks. It's fucking... In my opinion, I don't think he's great. Sorry.
I just don't know if he's that game changer either, though. I'm curious to see in a couple months what the ratings look like. If the whole product as a whole hasn't changed and drastically, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If Roman is going to make a huge difference, because I just don't think he is. I don't think they have a guy like that. I think that when they call up Brock Lesnar and they announce him a week ahead, there's a reason, because...
No, but I think you're just apples and oranges. Roman is just not on that level. I'm talking for what we have nowadays.
he's
for the
top
rating
of what we have.
Yeah. You know what I mean? He's the most eyes are going to stop watching out of what we've got now. If they're going to pull somebody away, I think less people would... This is totally off topic from now, but I think less people would stop watching if AJ just wasn't there for 3 months. I think you would lose more ratings by taking away Roman. Because, again, it's a small little thing, but this is the roundtable. Somebody talked about on Wade's show this week, they went to a wrestling event and think they saw one Bullet Club shirt. How many Bullet Club shirts were at wrestling 2 years ago?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And is that the fans not going? Or is that the Bullet Club not being as popular? I think it's those fans that wear those shirts aren't fucking going anymore.
Yeah. They're waiting
I
for
would
other
argue
things.
it's a mixture of both in that situation.
For sure. I just mean there's definitely I think there's a lot of people that are checking out right now.
Just of wrestling
Yeah.
as a whole?
No, of WWE.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There's wrestling fans out there that want
Oh, yeah.
wrestling that aren't watching WWE. But
It might just be that people are holding out for AEW.
Well, that's what I think. A lot of
we'll
those
see.
fans...
Congrats to them, by the way.
A lot of those fans that we don't see, that's what they're holding out for, probably.
I guess I'll do it now.
Yeah.
Congrats to AEW on the TV deal, TNT. We'll see what happens. I'm very curious. Tuesday nights to be.
They're still waiting for that deal here in Canada, but should be coming soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We'll find a way to watch it.
They said their main markets are USA, the UK and Canada, I think.
Well, yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, North American company. So,
But I don't know. Prediction: Shane and Miz. Unless you guys want to get into it more.
I think Shane's gonna do some weird shit and he's gonna win again. I think like he might get pushed off the top of the cage and fall and some.
Or Elias will help him get
or
out.
he's. I think that's what.
You know what I mean? Like they'll be on top fighting and maybe Miz
Like
knocks
Miz is
him
gonna
off
look.
and
Miz is gonna look really strong, but Shane accidentally wins and
Yeah.
keeps his best in the world title. You know.
Because even last time, like Miz looked strong, he came out of that strong. He kicked his ass, and ultimately it was his move that it kind of screwed him over in the end. But
Yeah.
he looked strong.
I could see that he pushes him off this cage and causing Shane to win, even though. But
It builds like that sympathy in a sense. Like if he's still, it's like,
Yeah.
oh man, like you did your thing, but you just didn't really work out.
For sure. And you guys are right. I just don't.
skull crushing for now.
I'm ready to
Oh
see.
yeah, you're not feeling Shane. I forgot. Yes,
Not even
yes.
no, I'm not feeling Shane, but that has nothing to do with this. I'm just ready to see this guy, like, if
Get a win.
not even I'm looking at this strictly, like, forget the Booker hat, put that away for a minute. This is strictly pro wrestling fan. If that was me, like, fuck you, man. Like, the shit he did to his dad,
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
I'm ready to watch Miz beat the fuck out of Shane after calling his dad a baked potato and beating up his dad and doing all this shit. It's like, I'm ready to see my babyface. I'm ready to see the heel get what's coming to
Yeah.
him.
Yeah,
Well, he beat the fuck out of him at Mania too.
I know, but I
broke
just,
a rib.
but win and,
Fully triumph.
yeah, because he didn't win at Mania, right?
No.
No, exactly. So just fully get that I beat you,
Mm.
and then Shane's got to cower and explain himself next week or whatever. But you guys might be right. This might be keep on its way.
Yeah, they're probably gonna go to around SummerSlam or something.
But I'm hoping I'll give my prediction. I'm hoping for Miz. So
It's
Yeah.
probably. I'm thinking it's probably gonna be Shane again. They're gonna extend it.
Yeah, I think some weird shit. Like I said, yeah.
some weird shit with Shane. We talked about him for a second there. Roman Reigns and Elias.
Roman Reigns and Elias.
This
yes,
is a match.
yes.
WWE stands for!
Will's not impressed.
I'm not impressed. No, I don't
I'm
know.
not gonna lie to you. Actually, I'm okay with this.
I am too.
down.
They had this weird thing with Elias where he was a heel and then he was a face.
Oh, yeah.
And then they turned him back heel right before Mania.
I think it's better
and
if you
then-
don't think about it too much. Try not to overthink it, maybe.
at all.
Don't remember.
Just don't think. Just
don't-
turn your brain off
Yeah,
when you
don't
watch
think
WWE.
too hard. Don't remember what you saw the week before.
Just don't
And
watch.
take everything with a
Just-
grain of salt.
Just close your eyes and just it's a fever dream.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be a good match. They're both good wrestlers, and me and Don have talked about it millions of times. Elias could really be something, man. Elias could be that guy. He could be that character because he has both. He's got the athletics. He can wrestle really good, and he's not like, you know what I mean. You don't talk about Elias and Seth Rollins in the same sentence when you get Stone Cold saying, "What's a Seth Rollins?" Like, you know what an Elias is. If somebody said, "What's Elias?" I can give you 3-4 sentences about what Elias is. I can't really give you, and still to this day, I can't really give you 3 sentences about what Seth Rollins is, other than the fact that he's an architect that burns shit down.
I'm sorry. I'm about to go on a rant again now.
Go.
Because this is the shit, man. Like that. It's just. It doesn't make sense to me. Like you look at a guy like Elias. Like he looks like, you know what I mean. He could fucking kick some ass.
Yeah.
And he's got a good character, and you just don't do anything with it. And I'm thinking about this. The gears are turning. Like he's probably not gonna win. You know what I mean?
No.
I know that the big plan is for Roman to do something big at SummerSlam with maybe Lars Sullivan in the main event.
No, that Universal title behind you hanging there, bro. That's gonna be Roman's sooner than later.
Like I know that Roman's on a certain path, and I think Elias is just a little. As much as it sucks to
bump.
think about, he's just a fucking pit stop, I guess. Like,
Oh, totally. I never thought for a second that
yeah,
he was gonna win. I just look at guys with potential. It's like, whoa.
You could say he's a roadblock.
Shout out to the Roadblock pay-per-view.
I don't get it. I don't
Yeah.
get it. It's much like Braun, man. I just don't understand.
Well, what's he
certain
doing?
things. Well, that's what I mean. I don't know.
Is he off for
Nothing.
tonight,
He's
or
not
is he gonna
doing-
get pissed and come out and beat up Sammy in the middle of the Money in the Bank match?
Yeah, well, yeah, he'll probably fuck around in the Money in the Bank match, but like, still, it's just, it's weird that they just
Yeah.
don't do anything with these guys that have something to them.
Wasn't that like a small feud before Sammy turned heel? There was Sammy versus Braun.
It was.
Well,
like,
they put him in a dumpster. It was the stupidest fucking segment I've seen in quite a while, and that's saying
Oh,
a
no, I
lot.
think he's talking about the original. Like, they
Yeah,
had a feud
like
before.
when they were
Remember when
flipped, they
Mick
were-
Foley was around and shit? Like, they had a feud.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When they were flipped in the sense that Braun was
The
a
bad
heel,
guy,
yeah.
and Sammy. Yeah.
They
But
fought
I'm
for weeks. I remember that.
Yeah. Maybe that's why it feels stale. But I don't know. When he got tossed in a dumpster and then the next night comes on SmackDown and has a fucking 4.5-star match that you think he's going to win the WWE Championship on SmackDown.
What was
there was no correlation between the two nights.
The dumpster thing? What was that? So what, he just...
Braun put him in a dumpster and then coincidentally, right at 8:45 or whatever time it was at. That's when the garbage truck was picking up the dumpster at the arena. Just so happens right when Sammy got tossed in there. Perfect coincidence. Garbage truck pulls up, picks up the garbage can, and does
what is with Braun and just utility vehicles within
one shot Jones, buddy. I don't know. He
flips an ambulance,
grappling hooks.
This isn't the first time he's been involved with a garbage truck on Raw.
Stretchers over barriers, and
Ripping off
he's done it all. That's his gimmick. That's his part of. If you ask what is a Braun Strowman, he fucks shit up, is what you say. Kind of, he messes people's he breaks things. I
still like Braun.
So do I.
I do.
Braun there was a time last year where
he was fire.
Yeah.
And then they
there was a time last year where you turned
water.
on the TV and you're like, why is this guy not the champion? He looks like he runs this show.
Mm-hmm.
Like he looks like the wrestlers talk to him on everybody's got to go through him like he's the king of the jungle here. But it never happened.
He had that one green belt and then he never held it again.
That was just so he could they did that so the Saudi prince had something to look at as the show closed.
I forgot. The green belt.
Give me just around the table very quick. Elias, Roman.
Oh, RR baby.
Roman.
What do we got?
You were the chosen one.
It's gonna be Roman. It's gonna be Roman every time. But
he had the high ground.
Wouldn't it be cool if if Elias whacked him with the guitar and got DQ'd and they continued the feud at least that, but I don't even think that's gonna come of this. I literally think it's just Roman's gonna go in, they'll have a little
they're gonna have a
10-12 minute match and
one
Roman
spear,
will win.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be.
I don't want to sound like a dick, man, but I just never. It's like the Drew match at Mania. There's no ounce. There's not a cell in my body that thought Roman was
at
losing.
least that match they had at least a little bit of storytelling in that.
Oh no,
match.
for sure. I just mean from the outcome. That's when I take my Booker hat and I put it back on. And
this just kind of feels like we need to pad out the playtime.
Yeah, I don't know. 2 more, I guess. I don't know how long we're gonna get into it. We're going pretty long tonight, boys. But
we always go long when I'm here.
Yeah, which isn't a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing,
and that's very true. But yeah, don't take that as a bad thing. Samoa Joe and Ray.
True. Yeah.
Any thoughts? Is Dominic gonna be involved?
I think Ray's gonna get the belt, man. I do.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Has he won that belt before?
I don't think so, man. No, maybe once.
We should
I'd have
know
to
this,
check.
man. We did the championship look back, United States Championship. We should fucking.
Nah, Ray wasn't involved at all. Actually, now that I think about it, you're right.
Yeah, well, I guess you're calling back to the show.
Yeah, not at all. But then again,
Because he might have cracked your top 10, is what you're saying, maybe if he had.
Well, if he had a memorable reign, that's what I mean. Like he might have had one of those little candy cane reigns, like there was just half-ass, couple days. Type of thing.
Little Easter egg. If you're an hour and 30 minutes into the show, stay tuned for something championship look back stuff coming.
Yeah, go listen to the U.S. title championship look back show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Ray's gonna get it here. I do.
I could see that. I definitely want to see Dominic involved this time, whether it's just ringside or something. I want to something.
Dominic has been trained, right?
Oh, Dominic is.
I think he's still training. Yeah,
he's still
Dominic
training.
could probably out wrestle Baron Corbin.
But he hasn't been signed to a WWE contract.
Not that I know of.
Wait, you know what?
No, okay, that was bad. But I'm just saying the he's trained with Lance Storm. He's trained in Mexico. Like Ray's doing this thing where Ray wants to teach him every aspect of wrestling. So he made him go train in the UK. He made him go to Canada and train with Lance Storm. Sent him to the Dudley Boys school. I think he's going to send him to Japan. So he wants him to not have a style. And then obviously Ray's going to teach him everything lucha that he can, being 6, whatever the fuck, he's pretty big. But yeah, I don't know. He's not signed, and I just want to see them do something with him. And yeah, he can definitely wrestle. He can go. I'm sure him and Baron Corbin could have a great match. No, serious.
You know what though? I think he's still a kid, man. To me, he's not.
Oh, totally.
He doesn't look like a man. He looks like a boy.
No, he's
not. He looks like a skinny.
How old is he? 17, 18?
I'm not too sure, but
I don't think he's old.
He's not. He doesn't have any thickness to him. You know what I mean? That if he stepped in there with Joe, it looks like Joe might slap the piss out of him.
Oh fuck yeah! I don't expect him to get in there against Joe. I just want him to be involved in the storyline.
Come celebrate at the end.
That's it.
Yeah.
Not ringside, nothing.
You don't think he's gonna I don't know, maybe do a little an enziguri or something on Joe when the ref has his back turned?
No. Don't do that, man.
Well,
Yo,
if-
then Joe should
I'm
win. Fuck that shit.
I'm thinking of something completely different.
Dominic
Are we-
619.
Are we gonna get Dominic? I don't even know if I can say this.
What?
Are we gonna get Dominic lifting up Pops, putting him on his?
Well, he did that on Raw.
Put
Put him on his shoulders.
Oh,
remember?
did he? No, I missed
Put
that.
him up like legs
Oh,
around each
fuck.
shoulder, and at the end of at the fucking top of the rampway.
What?
Yeah, the first time he beat Joe in the non-title match,
That's
he carried him up.
I guess that's okay. I mean,
Like that's what we'll probably.
yeah,
yeah.
probably now. I mean, I was kind of saying it more as a joke, but I didn't know.
Little
That-
Ray.
Yeah, so I don't know. Around the table, I guess I'm gonna go Ray too. I like it.
Yeah.
Joe shouldn't lose though. Like, keep that belt till fucking
Yeah.
next year. For
But
like
you
realistically,
give him some credibility.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with Joe keeping that belt so long that people, oh yeah, he is still the champion. You know what I mean? One of those.
Yeah, like I could see. They're probably gonna put it on Ray, but I want Joe to win, so I'm gonna go with my heart on this one, just to play devil's advocate. I'm gonna say Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad if Joe retains and
Yeah. Give me a Pete Dunne fucking title run.
give him some more feuds throughout the with different guys. and-
Yeah.
Get the honkometer back up there.
Jeez.
Final one before we get out of here. Tony Nese and Davari.
Oh, why would? Oh,
You don't want me to?
fuck,
You mad
saved
that I brought
for
it up?
last. I don't. I just
Oh, I was gonna save the Money in the Banks for last, and then it made more sense to start with the good shit.
God damn it! How do we do that?
Sorry,
What's
guys.
wrong about Tony Nese?
I don't. I just.
This is
I like Buddy
basically-
Murphy. That's what's wrong with Tony Nese, bro.
and he got called up to SmackDown only to not wrestle.
Just to be missing in action. We don't even get promos like Aleister Black. At least does these little
That's
trippy
true.
promos, but we don't. Where's the fuck's Buddy Murphy?
Well, how funny was that this week when the guys are like, "Who's this guy?" I'm like, "Just watch.
Well, we're gonna learn.
We're gonna find out." Aleister Black cut his promo.
Get out your thesaurus.
Well, no, we were sitting here with two buddies that don't watch wrestling all the time, and they asked me, they're like, "Who's this guy?" I said, "Let's find out," because he was cutting his promo. Off topic, but yeah, Tony Nese defending. I think he's gonna win. I can't see Arya Davari coming in and winning the title here. I mean, credit to Arya Davari for getting to the point where he's in a cruiserweight title match. Whether he's had matches before, I'm not sure. Maybe he probably has, but I think they've just kind of run the roster thin here, and they're still having Brian Kendrick against Gallagher and just stuff that has been done. Like, get rid of it. Get rid of this show. There's two options: get rid of this fucking show, or put everybody that's 205 pounds on the damn show. Adam Cole and Finn Balor and the whole lot of them, everyone. Because then it's like, oh wow, then it will be more popular than Raw. Then all the marks will be saying, "Fuck Raw, 205 Live."
Yeah.
But you can't, you know what I mean? You rip the fucking Band-Aid off or leave it on. Like, go all the way.
We say this. I swear we say this every pay-per-view
fucking
that
week. I think we say
we come
this. And
talking about the cruiserweight title.
sorry to be so repetitive, any listeners, but I don't know what else to say about
That's true.
205 Live.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Wouldn't Pete Dunne kind of be a cruiserweight too? Like he's short
No.
and
He's
No.
not. He's over 205.
is he?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, but he is kind of short. But he's,
He's
not.
short, yeah,
he's
but he's
not
over
thin.
205.
So the fact that, you know what I mean, 205 isn't as
chunky
big as
boy.
it.
Is he?
Or isn't
I
it
don't know.
s-
I looked at him.
I don't know. I'm really not sure. And
He's
I,
not, he's not a
Totally right.
cruiserweight. He's the bruiserweight.
yeah.
Well, there you go. Yeah. How'd I missed that
Tony
one?
Nese from everybody, I guess.
Fuck, I guess
Probably.
so.
Although I wouldn't lie, I would pop if Davari wins, just for Xavier Woods to come down and like, I knew it.
Well, make sure you're here for the pre-show.
Because I was just I was just gonna. It was a little shout out to Up Up Down Down because they're doing the
Oh.
playthrough of SVR 2006 GM mode.
Bro, that's so crazy. Me and Younger started watching that when it was me and Younger watched those episodes for like 7 weeks for the first set. Wait, is it him and Tyler Breeze?
Yeah.
Oh my, they're still doing it?
Yeah, it's the Royal Rumble like
Dude,
today.
that's insane. Me and Younger watched the first like 7 shows of that on YouTube when it was like they drafted their rosters and
Yeah.
shit. And then we
I
just kind of got
watched. Yeah, I watched the entire
that's sick.
thing.
We just kind of got out of it, but I played that game like more than you want to know, and
so you know
that's
you know
coming
this-
one day. We should get you on. Actually, you'd be a good guest to have on that episode because I think you have some experience with wrestling video games.
Yeah.
We want to do an episode one day, a round table where we just talk wrestling video games the whole time. That'd be cool. But that's Money in the Bank all wrapped up. Unless you guys got anything else you want to get in.
I mean, I was just gonna finish my
Sorry.
story.
Yeah, sorry.
Because you said you watched Beginning of Up Down, so you know the story about Xavier Woods and Arya Davari and how he would win everything, right?
Yeah.
In his game,
Yeah,
Davari just wins for Xavier to come out.
that is true. It's a true thing.
Just-
Xavier was your fucking. we always talk about it. The guy you always pushed people in the fucking video games.
There's a lot of different ones.
Yeah, Xavier would do that with Davari, and then he would sim matches, and Davari would still win, like beat the champion and shit.
Ezekiel Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Ezekiel, but
Heath Slater.
Heath.
He got a lot of love.
He's got kids.
He does. I feel like that's like you can't say Heath Slater now.
Why?
No. I mean, without saying.
Oh, he's got kids.
Yeah, like it's just he managed to get that in. That's part of. It's kind of like a his version of. What? I don't know. That was a little loud. Sorry, guys. But yeah, if that's it, I guess we can close her down.
Yeah.
Fucking technical difficulties at the Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast. Jeez, boys.
Live show.
Exactly. Yeah, live. Pretty much. It's live to tape with no edits, so we might as well be live. But thanks for joining us this week, Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast. I hope you enjoyed the discussion at the beginning. We went a little long on the racing stuff, but
what can I say?
It's all good. We had Will here, who's not always here for racing. Always good to dive into that. If you want, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, like I said at the beginning of the show, at PWLookback on both of those. Send us DMs for topics, questions, championship lookbacks, roundtable topics, lookback shows, anything. Let us know. We're always down for input, anything for the show. If you want to get in touch with us personally, at Salsa, SCELSA is where you can find me on Twitter.
My Twitter is at JustDon44.
Mine is at LateralG, LATERELG.
And if you want to get a t-shirt, sticker, any other merchandise for Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast, head over to teespring.com/Pro Wrestling LookBack. Head over to iTunes. If you're listening already, I mean, you'd be on iTunes now or YouTube, but hit the 5 stars if you like the show. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. Subscribe on YouTube and Podbean and Spotify. I think that's it, guys. Send us an email. Like I said, prowrestlinglookback@gmail.com. This has been the Roundtable, Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast, episode 37. I'm Nick.
I'm Donovan.
I'm Will.
Stay classy.